Okay, hello guys, this is Sanjay. So, in the last lecture, we saw about the alpha halogenation reaction and haloform reaction. If you haven't seen the part 1 and part 2 of the series, please go and check it out. So, now we shall continue the series of the aldol reactions. Okay, the next reaction we will see is HVZ reaction. It's also known as Hell-Volhard-Zelinsky reaction. The name is a bit too weird, but we cannot do anything. You can remember it as HVZ reaction only. So uh, this reaction is undergone by carbonyl group only, but the functional group present here is not aldehyde or ketone, but a carboxylic acid, which has an alpha hydrogen. I'll say this. So if you take this R, CH2, C, double bond O, OH. Here also we have the C double bond O group, which is the carbonyl group. So even though this is acid, still the alpha carbon is present, right? The C double bond O should have this alpha carbon, and it has two hydrogen here. In this case, it has two hydrogen, right? So this will undergo this reaction. The reagent used here is halogen with the phosphorus in it, that is X2 in presence of phosphorus, and then H2O. So this is basically a reagent. The product we get is this one. So basically this is alpha, right? And this is halogen. So this is alpha halo acid. This product is obtained through this reaction. We will see the mechanism of this. Mechanism again is similar to that of the alpha reaction which we have seen till now. Okay, what happens in the mechanism? I'll say. So this is a given acid. So in the sense of H, what happens? Now do you see this? This can leave as a water, which is a good leaving group. Good leaving group. I read Lg over here. So here only Br2 comes, SN2 attack. So this will form R. Br. This is what? This is acyl halide. This is formed. So the next next step is R. This one. This one. Next is the step where enol is formed. So I will write SN2 attack of Br2 enol. So the enol formation takes place like we have seen in the previous lectures also. So I draw one hydrogen over here to show how the hydrogen gets removed. So H, OH, right? So this will again extract a proton to form OH plus Br. Now again Br will form. You understand the movement of arrows? This Br comes and abstracts this proton. So H, it leaves as H plus, right? So minus charge is formed over here, and subsequently the double bond O is also pulled by the OH plus, because previous also we said this, because oxygen is more electronegative, it cannot bear a positive charge on it, so the bond is polarized towards it, so that substantial amount of positive charge is formed over here. So these form a bond over here. This is what we saw in first part also, right? The ketone and automerism. Same thing. So this will form this one, OHBr. This is what? Enol. Right? This is enol. Now is the major part where the alpha substitution takes place. So I'll write over here R Br in the sense of Br. I'll write as OH in order to visualize the hydrogen more effectively. So this lone pair comes over here, and this acts over here. Benson again, same thing, right? Lone pair comes, double bond is formed. Carbon is cannot be pentavalent, so this bond polarizes itself over here, negative charge. So this negative charge comes and attacks this one. So finally, it takes place like this. So this will come like R. Sorry, uh, sorry, this will not come. B R B R double bond O is positive, and one more B R. This will leave. So here this is also D, right? So finally you will get R B R, this one B R plus HBr. These need not take place like separately. It's all fast reactions. Uh, to know what is happening, I'm showing you like this. So we found this one. Now again we have to bring back the OH. So finally this R Br double bond O Br is reacted with H2O to form R Br double bond O OH. This is the alpha halo acid. Alpha halo acid. So first the acyl halide is formed, then its enol is formed, then as the usual attack of how we saw in acid catalyzed enol formation, the same thing happens, and the double bond over here nucleophilic center, this attacks the bromine to form dibromo compound, and finally it reacts with water to form alpha halo acids. This is simple HVZ reaction. Now we'll see the importance of this reaction. So we'll see the halo acids. We see they're actually an important synthetic intermediates because they are useful in the conversion of these products. So what happened? This magnet Br double bond OH. This reacts with OH minus. So it will form R OH double bond OH. This is alpha hydroxy acid. And if you see in amino acid is you know what is amino acid, right? It is basically basically if you see it's a protein. You can say amino acids combines to form protein molecules. So we'll see that in biomolecules chapter. So it also helps in formation of amino acid. So if you see R D OH, it will react with two molecules NH3. Is ammonia. We'll take Br, or we can take generally X, right? Any halogen. So we'll form NH3. Right. Specifically, if you see specifically R is H and X is Br. We'll get this one right. Br. So Br we'll get this one right. Alright. So this will form basically something known as glycine. These are the types of amino acids. There are about 20 amino acids in our human body. So this will become what? This is known as glycine. Basically, this is removed actually. NH4. Here NH4 X. So this is about Hell-Vollard-Zelensky reaction. So we finished this reaction, and now next we jump on to the main important reaction, which is the aldol condensation reaction. So okay, now we'll start at the most important reaction, the aldol condensation. So first let me give some introduction about the reaction. So basically what happens is, any two molecules of aldehyde or ketone having at least one alpha hydrogen in the presence of 10% NaOH aqueous gives beta hydroxy aldehyde or ketone respectively. So basically what happens, two molecules of aldehyde plus ketone, or aldehyde plus aldehyde, or ketone plus aldehyde, or ketone plus ketone, so they react in a specific way in the presence of 10% NaOH aqueous to give this compound beta hydroxyaldehyde. Do you know what is beta hydroxyaldehyde? Hydroxy means it should have a OH group. An aldehyde or ketone means a carbonyl group is present, C double bond O. So where the beta hydroxyaldehyde or ketone is where you can see aldehyde is present, also alcohol is present. So this ald plus all, this actually is the nomenclature of the name of the reaction actually. So it's basically known as aldol. So you can ask, so if we take ketone in the product, is it named as ketol? No, generally this is the convention followed throughout the world. So we take the name as aldol. So I'll write one reaction where you understand. So first we will take normal aldol condensation where both of the molecules are an aldehyde group. So CH3 C double bond OH plus CH3 C double bond H. Okay. So basically, sorry, I left to say something. So here it forms this one, right? After that, when it is dehydrated, it forms alpha beta unsaturated aldehyde or ketone. So this everything will cover up slowly and with clarity. So this is actually happens. So when the aldehyde and ketone reacts to form this beta hydroxyaldehyde ketone, this is also known as you can say this aldol addition product. So after this, the dehydration takes place to form this compound. So in on the whole, you can say this combination of this reaction and this reaction, where first it forms beta hydroxyaldehyde ketone, and the next it forms alpha beta unsaturated aldehyde ketone. These two combines to give the aldol condensation reaction. So basically, this is the introduction about um, the aldol condensation. So this can happen through, as usual, um, happen through the formation of enol in acidic medium or enolate in basic reactions. We have been seeing from the starting of the series, right? So same thing is followed. So do you now realize why all these reactions comes under the aldol set of reactions? So basically it's named as it. So this happens. This is important to remember. So now we will see when these two molecules react in the presence of OH minus. First it forms CH3, CH, OH, CH2, C double bond OH. Do you realize this is C bond group? This is alpha, this is beta. So beta hydroxy. What is this? It's actually 1, 2, 3, right? So 3 hydroxy. So this I'll write bracket 3 hydroxy. What is this? Butane 1L. So when this further undergoes dehydration, dehydration means what? Removal of water, right? So this one is formed. You may ask again, see, OH is removed and H from this one or this can be removed, but only when H is removed from here, you form a conjugated system over here, where, see, where this undergoes resonance rate. Say like this. I'll show here. CH3, CH double bond, CH, C double bond OH. This could also be formed actually. CH2 double bond, CH, CH2, CHO. This is not formed actually. Why? Because only this molecule has resonance. So that's why we say when the alpha beta unsaturated aldehyde or ketone is formed, it should always be 1 comma 3. You realize 1 comma 3 means 1, 2, 3, right? So sorry, 1 it just for remembering. So 1, 2, 3. So like this only the conjugated alpha beta unsaturated aldehyde or ketone is formed. This is very very important because this alkene can also be formed, but this is not stable. Here resonance also operates, including hyperconjugation. So two molecules of any carbonyl compound reacts first to give beta hydroxy this compound, and finally when dehydration takes place, this can happen. We see very detailedly the mechanism and what will happen when it stops here. That is, if we do not dehydrate this molecule to form this alkene, what will happen? Everything we will see, and many mechanisms, many reaction undergoes similar kind of aldol condensation. The mechanism is so much similar to the aldol condensation. So everything we'll see in detail. So now we will see the base catalyst mechanism. So we will now see the base catalyst mechanism of the aldol condensation reaction. So we took this, right? CH3, C double bond OH. This is acetaldehyde. This, in the presence of OH minus, as usual, removes the proton from here. CH2 minus, C double bond OH. The same step we have been doing so many times, right? This CH2 minor ion will react with one more molecule of acetaldehyde. This actually does not take place directly. Does not take place directly. What happens is, as we have seen in the second lecture only, the CH2 minus ion undergoes resonance like this. So it will be CH2 double bond CO minus H. So this basically is the resonating structure of the molecule. This is more stable due to the fact that oxygen being more electronegative than carbon bears a negative charge, hence this is more stable. Now this molecule undergoes this way of electron transfer. Why this happens? Because oxygen being more electronegative is a weak nucleophile, but carbon being less electronegative than oxygen is a strong nucleophile compared to oxygen. So this attack is favored. So this is basically the same thing actually as we have seen in the alpha halogenation reaction also. But this is the step you have to know. This is what is the enolate ion. So base catalyzed mechanism undergoes the enolate ion mechanism. So this will generate the same thing again. Now this will undergo this CH2 minus C double bond OH will undergo one more attack, one more molecule of acetaldehyde. This negative charge will come over here. So CH3 and this will polarize over here. CO minus H CH2. This bond is formed by this negative charge. Okay, is actually positive charge, substantial amount of positive charge here, negative charge here. So force of attraction bond forms here. CH2 C double bond OH. Okay. Now as the medium is aqueous, it will take away a proton from here, leaving OH minus behind. So CH3 CHOH CH2 C double bond OH. Now plus OH minus removed, right? So we have used OH minus here as this is a catalyzed mechanism. OH minus used is also given out in the same reaction. This we have seen some amount of steps in alpha halogenation reaction also. So this is basically the what is this 3 hydroxy beta. So now that you have seen how the beta hydroxyaldehyde or ketone is formed here, uh, few seconds before, where the beta hydroxy compound is called the aldol addition product. Now we see how it gets dehydrated to form, and also next thing we will see why should it be dehydrated as soon as it forms the aldol addition product. Now we'll see how the dehydration takes place. So here the this is the aldol addition product, right? So OH minus ions comes and attacks this, so it will form CH3 CH OH CH minus C double bond O H. Now the usual thing happens. CH3 CH OH CH double bond CO minus H. Now again this comes over here, this goes over here, and the hydroxide ion leaves. So you will get CH3 CH double bond CH C double bond O H. Now you might ask, the hydroxide ion leaves, right? So hydroxide ion is not generally a good leaving group because it's a weak base. You know, right? Leaving group and basicity are inversely proportional. So hydroxide ion leaves because this is this compound here formed is known as is actually alpha beta unsaturated compound. We always form alpha beta unsaturated compound in aldol condensation. Remember this is very important. So this is basically how it forms. Now I'll revise once again. So if you see the base catalyst mechanism, first OH comes, attacks, and enolator is formed, and via the carbon nucleophile via the nucleophilic carbon, it attacks another molecule of aldehyde to form the beta hydroxy aldehyde. So now the hydroxide ion comes and attacks again the alpha position of the aldehyde C double bond group, and the steps takes place, and finally unsaturated alpha beta unsaturated compound is formed. Always in aldol condensation, whatever be the medium, basic or acidic, always we form only alpha comma beta unsaturated compound. So now we will see how the same mechanism takes place in acidic medium. So the acid catalyst mechanism goes something like this. So we take same molecule CH3, C double bond OCH3, and we add HCl, which is acidic basically. No, basically it is acidic. So what happens? The same thing what we saw in the keto-enol transformation. The same thing happens. It forms OH plus CH3 plus Cl minus. Now this CH3 is double bond OH plus CH3. The Cl minus attacks this carbon so as to form, I write like this, you understand, right? CH2 bond H, right? So this bond shifts over here. The attacks actually the hydrogen present here. Understand, right? The Cl minus is a base, so it abstracts this proton so as to form a conjugated system over here, and this bond is pulled. So CH3 C CH3C OH. This is the same thing we saw in keto-enol tautomerism, right? Same thing happens. This is the enol. Now what happens? Now again CH3 COH double bond CH2. We take this and attack it on the this molecule. See, you might ask, the same molecule undergoes this transformation to form this, but essentially every molecule of acetone will form this compound, right? This protonated form. So the protonated form is 1 second taken into consideration. So OH plus CH3, right? So now this lone pair of oxygen comes over here, and this attacks this one, and the bond shifts over here. So it forms CH3 C OH CH3, and a bond is formed. This is actually, you know what happens here, right? So this is essentially the negative charge over here, nucleophilic center, right? So this attacks this carbon, which is delta positive. So we write the product as follows. So we form this one, CH2 COH plus CH3. You understand what happens actually? This lone pair of oxygen comes over here so as to form a positive charge on the oxygen, and because carbon cannot be pentavalent, right? If it comes over here from double bond, so 1 2 3 4 5, it will be pentavalent. That is not possible according to rules of chemistry. So as I already said in some video that while rating mechanisms we cannot violate the rules of chemistry. So while this comes over here, this bond breaks and polarizes itself here to form negative charge. This negative charge essentially attacks the carbon, and the negative charge forms the bond over here. Remember that, very important. this negative charge formed over here forms the bond over this bond is formed. Okay, so this CH2 comes and it essentially forms this. So now this it's having a positive charge, right? I'll write like this. It is having positive charge. So the lone pair of oxygen comes and abstracts this proton. So this oxygen protonates this one. So it forms CH3 COH2 positive CH3 H2C. We missed the double bond over here, right? This comes over here, so it forms double bond, right? So this comes, so it forms this compound. So if you want to write the beta hydroxy compound, you can directly remove this H plus and write as one, 2 3. So you can write that automatically, but I'll write the dehydration step also over here. So this actually happens. So water leaves, why? Because the Cl minus ion attacks again this hydrogen, so as to okay, I'll write like this. Always I miss this. Sorry. So this way over here, the attacks take place like this. So we found CH3, CH3, double bond, CH, C double bond O, CH3. So in the base catalyst mechanism, we took the example of acetaldehyde. Here we're taking the example of acetone. It does not matter. So as to show the acid catalyst mechanism, I'm writing like this. This is the dehydration step. I wrote here also. This base catalyst mechanism, right? I'll write dehydration. So essentially, you have seen the introduction of aldol condensation, everything, why it is named aldol, what will be formed, and it takes place through base catalyst mechanism, the way here, and finally we see how the dehydration takes place, and then we come to acid catalyst mechanism and dehydration takes place. So now basic part of aldol condensation clear. Now we see what will happen if we do not dehydrate the molecule formed as beta hydroxy aldehyde or ketone. So what will happen, I say? So I'll take the same compound found over here. Okay. So this is actually formed over here. CH3, COH, CH3, CH2, C. We formed we protonated actually this OH group by this hydrogen. We now want to write how the reaction takes place if this compound is not dehydrated, right? So this is actually the beta hydroxyaldehyde. So we only remove the H plus and we essentially form the double bond over here. So CH3 formed. This is the beta hydroxyaldehyde of uh, the acetone compound. So what will happen is, so this is the product. Now the reverse reaction is possible. I'll say how. So again, what will happen if it is basic medium? I'll take. So what happened in the dehydration step actually? So we removed this proton, right? For dehydration takes place. I'm saying if dehydration does not take place, so what will happen? I'll say this OH minus, right? It abstracts this proton. Oh my god! So it abstracts this proton. This proton to be OH, right? This proton is abstracted so as to form CH3, CO minus, CH3, CH2, C double bond O, CH3. Now what happens is this comes over here, this leaves so as to form CH3, C double bond O, CH3 plus CH2 minus C double bond O. CH3. Now this molecule reacts with the water present in the medium, so essentially forms CH3, C double bond O CH3 plus CH3, C double bond O CH3. Do you realize this? We took the same acetone compound here. We again form the same acetone compound if it does not gets dehydrated. So this is the process of retroaldol condensation. Do you understand the word retro? Retro means it is undergoing a reverse reaction. So generally, when these molecules are taken, we form the product up to here, and if it does not get dehydrated, the reaction undergoes no the reaction is reversible, and it goes backward to form back same compound. So this is why we dehydrate the molecule present over here so as to form the alpha beta unsaturated compound, so that the reaction is favorable because of the resonance stabilization. I'll repeat the sentence once again. When we take molecules of acetone or aldehyde, we form this beta hydroxyaldehyde. So if it is not dehydrated to form alpha beta unsaturated compound, the reaction goes backward to form two molecules of acetone, which we took at the beginning also. So then what is the use? We get the same compound, so no use, right? So so this is why we perform. So you can ask, if dehydration is performed, why cannot it go again back to form this beta hydroxyaldehyde and again go back to form this compound? It will not go, because the reaction that is favored through the reaction that is favored by this beta hydroxyaldehyde to form the alpha beta unsaturated compound is practically irreversible. Why? Why? Because this is resonance stabilized. So the reaction always shifts towards the stabilization. In general, chemistry itself wants stability. I mean, chemistry means not chemistry. The molecules in chemistry want stability. So why should it go back to form the compound? So this is what is the use of the retroorganization? We'll see when we take up questions. For example, they would give this compound and they ask x plus y gives this compound. Find x plus y. What will you do if they give four options? You would will you react all the compounds and wasting your time? So we have to perform generally the retroorganization to form the original product. So I'll teach when we see the questions. So this is a overall process of aldol organization. Some more process also there. I mean, not process exactly. We here saw a self-aldol condensation here. See, acetone plus acetone. Here also we saw ketone plus another ketone, right? So do you realize that acetone and aldehyde can also react? Ketone and aldehyde can react vice versa. So that is known as cross aldol condensation. So that we will take up in the next lecture. So and now till now we saw what is HVZ reaction, and we gave the introduction to aldol condensation, and we saw the base catalyst mechanism, it and its dehydration, acid catalyst mechanism and its dehydration, and what will happen if dehydration does not take place, retroaldol condensation takes place. So until now we saw this. So please revise, and we will in the next lecture we'll take up some more condensation process similar to aldol condensation, and we'll go and we'll take up some questions also to get clarity. So thank you for watching, guys. Bye bye.